Let me start by introducing the flow of the session today. We are going to start the session with the knowledge sharing session immediately after I'm done. The theme of the session today is upskill your sales pitch. This will then be followed by an interactive session with the presenter, which can be a Q&A session wherein all you have to do is raise your hand, your virtual hand, and you will be let in, or you will be unmuted by the host, and you can go on and ask your question and the presenter will answer your questions. This will be further followed by a feedback session or a further planning session. And since this is the first time we are conducting this sort of a session, I urge you all to be a part of that. And I assure you that all the feedback that you will give us will be worked upon starting next sessions. Today, we have with us Toastmaster Amit, who is going to be the presenter of the meeting. He's working with Ad Labs Imagica with 8 years of experience in sales. He has also worked in other domains such as business development, key account management, etc. with Travelocity, Yatra, and Lush Trip. I hope with him today we'll learn some amazing tips on how to upscale our sales pitch and apply them in our real life. Handing over the stage to Toastmaster Amit. He's on mute. Can somebody unmute him?
Yes, sure. Just a minute.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are safe and sound and following the rules of the lockdown. I would like to welcome you to the very first session of Skillex. This is an initiative by Faridabad Toastmasters Club for everyone to showcase their skill set and enhance their creative side. I would like to thank everyone involved for making this session possible and spreading the news around on our social media handles. So my topic for today is upskill your sales pitch. But before I go ahead with the complete presentation, let me ask you a quick question. What is sales according to you? Girish, can we have Toastmaster Sandeep to answer this?
Okay.
Hello everyone. Sales is nothing but it's like dealing of two transactions at the both ends and come to a mutual agreement.
Thank you so much.
Transactions can be verbal, commitment. It doesn't mean only monetary things. Transaction is all about the conversation between two people and dealing with the different type of things. It could be a verbal transactions also, and non-verbal also.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sandeep. And I would like to welcome especially my mentor when I joined the club. It's Toastmaster Jaswant or guest Jaswant. Girish, can you unmute guest Jaswant Singh, please?
Thank you, Amit.
So welcome back. It's good to see you. And I would like to know your prospect on what according to you is sales.
I think Sandeep was pretty much right what he was explaining just now. I also think sales is a process where two parties mutually agree to move on a journey where both believe that it will benefit them.
Thank you so much, Jaswant. I am not sure whether to say Toastmaster or a guest, but you will always remain a Toastmaster. Okay, so in a layman's language, sales is the process of selling a service or a product in exchange of money. Recently, I was watching a YouTube video on startups. One of the founder of Zomato, he is an IIT and IIM college pass out, mentioned it doesn't matter which degree you have or what's your job profile. Eventually, everyone is into sales. This statement was a little weird, but he did prove his point. He's mentioned, and I quote, if you're going for an interview, you're selling your skills to the job provider. Or if you want to raise capital for your startup, you're selling your idea to the investor. Would you guys agree with this? Anyone who wants to answer? Anyone? Girish, you can unmute whosoever raises hands. Yeah, Puneet, please.
Yeah, yes, I do agree because be it we saying a lie or we going to an interview, we want the other person to buy our idea or buy our explanation.
Okay, anyone else wants to pitch in? Whosoever, just raise the hands in. Girish, you can. Open for one person. Is there anyone? Okay, never mind. So, yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Puneet. Okay, so by profession, I'm into sales for an amusement park and had an experience of 8+ years. And today I will share some 5 simple steps that will help you to present your presentations and sales pitch. It will enhance your chances to sell your skills, product, and services to the right person. But before I share the presentation, the skills with you, let me share a story. I'm sure you must have heard about the company Ambuja Cement. So they have approximately 5,000 employees working for them pan-India. For employee engagement activity every year, they plan a company offsite for a day. And last year, approximately 1,000 employees, they planned a offsite for them in an amusement park. In India, we don't have a park as compared to Disney, but we have 3 or 4 parks that are at level that can cater 1,000 people and provide exact service to them also. Some of them are Ad Labs Imagica, Ramoji, Wonderla, Wet and Joy, and SL World. So this booking lead was an opportunity for everyone to grab, and it went like a wildfire. Everybody from the entertainment park industry wanted to cash in. The head office of the company was based in Gurgaon, so everyone from their respective parks went in to meet the concerned person. Now, after meeting with all of them, even I went there for a meeting. After post-meeting, out of 5 or 6 parks, only 2 were narrowed down. One was SL World, that's in Mumbai. The other is Ad Labs Imagica, that's my park. And so they called us again for the second round of conversation. Then they were discussing the main commercials. They were sharing their concerns. They were asking me n number of questions. So out of all the conversation in the meeting that I had with them, I was able to conclude what 2 problems that they were facing. The first one was the majority of the travelers in the group were in age of 40 to 50, and they were not interested in the thrilling rides. They were more interested in non-thrilling rides. They want to come there, enjoy their day, have some good food, and go back home. And second problem they were facing, how a large group will be catered in an amusement park, because that was the first time for them visiting 1,000+ people in an amusement park. That was a problem they were facing. And while I sent a contract to them, I majorly focused on one thing, that was give them a solution rather than giving them a gist of things that what we can do for you. I send them a price quotation and share a few details that were the solution to their problem. So their first problem was a majority of people were in the age group of 40 to 50. So I customized a special package for them, which had unlimited access to the non-thrilling rides, which are not that adventurous, that are more relaxed, and limited access to the rides which are thrilling. And second thing was they wanted to understand, they wanted to have a good meal. So I designed a specific buffet package and a space for them where they can come and have that kind of food. So it helped me in a way. The price that I've quoted them earlier, it reduced the price because all the rides were not included, limited rides were included. That's how I was able to reduce the cost, and they were happy. The second problem they were facing, that how a large number of group will be handled in the park. So what I did was I shared a testimony of a old corporate group who visited us with a 1300 number. I shared the complete case study in a form of a story, how we handled the group. Second, I share them a complete day itinerary where they can go, how we will cater them, and a dedicated team of 10 people were there that were helping them dedicatedly. This is how I was able to bag that group, and it was worth my 2 months of sales revenue and a footfall revenue. Now, I will start with the presentation of the pitch, but before I go ahead and do that, I want your experiences. Anyone who's from sales background who wants to share a one or a two liner just to give us an idea how they were able to tackle that problem. Anyone? Girish, please unmute the person whosoever raised their hands.
Sandeep has raised his hand. Girish, can you please unmute him?
Yeah, hi Amit. Definitely, because sales profession is something different, which I have experienced. It provides a lot of opportunity and a lot of challenges also. It's all totally a fun and interesting game to overcome all the situations. Because it's the only opportunity where you can deal with, where you have to deal with the internal team also and the external also, different stakeholders. And the major part having the sales is the decision making. The
Okay.
decision making goes up.
Okay.
People are there to listen to you because sales is the front. Sales are the front line professionals for any organization.
Okay.
This is my experience, and as far as customers are concerned, you can have the experience of different types of people, but they are thinking of the same product even, and how to tackle them. Your conversation, your negotiation, how to respond them, how to respond when they are having the criticism, all issues. So I found it very interesting, and definitely it's a challenge also, but challenge is also fun.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sandeep. Toastmaster Tarun, can you put up the slide, please?
We'll take more experiences towards the end of the meeting, so don't worry, guys.
Okay. So let me share the 5 steps or strategies that will help you to upskill your sales pitch. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, so the first one is kiss. Well, it doesn't mean that you have to go and kiss your prospect. Well, the meaning is keep it short and simple. This is a very simple advice that will give you results on your sales pitch. Do you like listening to someone who rumbles on and on? I guess, of course not. Neither does your prospect. So don't do it. This is a common mistake, yet every salespersons make it. They get carried away with excitement over what he or she has to share at the end. They talk too much that they make a mistake, and you will see a disconnect of your prospect face. Instead of giving them a complete presentation on and on, rather listening to them, I will say keep it short and simple. Look for the situations where you can look for the problem that your prospect is facing and give them solution. Let me share a small instance with you. So recently, it was not recently, it was when I recently joined Imagica. So I went in to meet a corporate in DLF's Cyber City. So this person came down to and meet me in a coffee shop, and after a basic introduction, he said, I'm looking to visit Imagica for my company's visit. I said, okay. So what I did was I was starting to narrate the complete thing. We have this to offer. We can do this for you. We have so much rights. I was discussing all the things which were completely not necessary. This guy, gentleman, has literally to stop me, and he said, Amit, just tell me what is the price so I can take a decision. I felt like so stupid at that point of time because it took me 15 minutes just to find the costing and give him the complete thing. And And on the other side, he was complete silent and as in watching me. So when I gave him the price and the complete quotation, he said, "Thank you, and I will get back to you." That imagine what kind of impression that I put on that the other person. And later I got a mail from him that, "I'm sorry, we have skipped the plan to some other destination." So the idea is keep it very short and very simple. Tarun, can we have the next slide, please? Now, this is present a solution. This is a very common statement. Do not think that you're selling a product or a service to your prospect. Instead, you are selling them a solution to the prospect problem. Spend the major portion of your time of your meeting in understanding the challenges and focus your rest of your presentation on solving them. Do not get distracted by the features and benefit that are not relevant to your prospect. You might just talk away by closing a big sale. I shared an example with you. Can you correlate which, I shared a story with you. Can you correlate which the two problems I've mentioned above is relevant to this one? Can anyone tell me? Anyone can raise their hands. So basically, if I have to tell you to the problem, the problem which I was mentioning, that they have an age group of between 40 to 50 people, and they were worried and they were not sure about the prices. The age group 40 to 50 was one concern, and the food was the other concern. So I gave them a very specific solution that this is the thing, and I've given them a basic costing. So this is the costing. The thrilling, adventurous ride where people were not interested. So I gave an option to them of an unthrilling ride. So that can be an appropriate example how we can give them a solution rather than rumbling on things again and again. Tarun, can you come on the third point, please? So the next point is tell them a story. Storytelling is an essential for everyone. Even the top biggest B school, they have a course for a storytelling. How you can convert your sales with the storytelling. Rather than sharing a list of features and benefits, keep your prospect interested by using case studies to create a story. Not only this, it will be more fun to listen to, but it will also allow them to picture themselves in achieving specific result. Share a story of a client who faces similar problems or challenges and solve it with your offering. Bring the list and the fact to life by compelling that they will ultimately help them to close the sales forever. Let me share another example of the story that I've mentioned above, where they had a problem in terms how we will cater the 1,000+ group. So at that point of time, to convert the sale, I actually shared them a complete case study of a previous group that came to our park of 1,300 people. So with this, they had an idea how we arrange the logistical things, arrange food for them, how we navigated them a bigger group to the complete park, and they were able to enjoy themselves. So anytime you faces any problem, make sure you can tell them in form of a story. Now, let me ask you a question. In your day-to-day life or any time, do you think storytelling is one of the key aspects? Anyone wants to share his experience?
Tanuj has raised his hand.
Tanuj, please, if you can. Girish, if you can unmute. Girish, can you unmute Tanuj?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to say one thing.
Mhm.
Like, uh, is it applicable to all situations? Like telling a story is applicable to all situations, because some people are like that. They want specific things, like
Mhm.
they just want to listen the benefits and features. They
Right,
don't want to listen story. And earlier you said that keep it short and simple. So
right.
if we tell story, how can we keep it short and simple?
Okay. Okay. So basically, storytelling comes into picture. I gave an example to keep it short and simple. That's correct. But storytelling come into picture when they have a problem. They have mentioned you a specific problem, and the problem in my case was that they were worried how a large group will be catered in the park. So at that point of time, I shared them a case study of an old group that visited Imagica, which were larger in number of 1,300 people, and how we completely cater them. So that was, I converted a case study into a story. So that gave them an idea, a statistical idea that how the complete group will be mobilized and the logistically how it will help them. So yes, keep them short and simple is one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is how you tell them a story. I hope that answers your question.
Hi, Amit.
Yes, please.
Yeah, even I would like to add on which the other participants asked.
Mm-hmm.
It is applicable to day of the life. Let me tell you the example. There is a one couple, and wife is asking. There are two simple things, and she wants to go abroad just for vacation. Then there are two aspects. One is, dear, I just thought of to go on the vacation. Now, second aspect, dear, I want to share, one thing. When I was in the childhood, I dreamt of something, and then moves on to the philosophy. So when you start of, giving an idea that okay, I was in a childhood, I'm thinking of this one, and this is how moves, and now the time has come, I want to go on the vacation with my people. So this create an actual impact. That lady has already sold the story to the husband. So it is
Uh,
definitely applicable to day-to-day life also.
Okay, I would like to this. I would like to stop you, Sandeep. I'm sorry. I will take the questions and the suggestions by the end of this because I just have two more points to cover, and then we can come on this part because there is certain restriction of time also. So I will come to that points. I have that in my kitty. Let me quickly complete the rest two points, and then I will come back to you. I hope you don't mind. Tarun, can we have the next slide, please? Okay. Now the next slide is be willing to sidetrack. So it means, okay, so let's say you have rehearsed your presentation and you have certain points in your mind and you would like to cover. And if somebody interrupts, so your prospect interrupts you, you might feel a little offended and you might think of, I will finish this and quickly and then I will take his question. Believe me, this is a sales suicide. So if you want to close a sale, you have to understand what is your prospect thinking. Any interruption is a perfect opportunity to find out what is in his mind. Welcome your prospect questions or concern and then use this as a tailor and rest of your presentation. What is your prospect cares the most? So basically, okay, we have a tradition in Toastmaster that when somebody is giving a speech on the stage, even currently right now, we are forbidden to interrupt them. But that's not the case in these sales because when a prospect interrupts you while you're giving them a presentation and somebody interrupts you, this is a perfect opportunity. You can actually find out what is there in the mind and you can take the concern, the point that they have, the problem they are facing, and give them specific solution according to that problem. Believe me, your client is not interested in listening to the XY things which are not related to him. So all the points are in a way connected to each other. As I mentioned earlier, uh, present a solution, keep it short and simple. So yes, this is one key point that we salespersons sometimes miss out on. So we have to keep in mind. Tarun, can you skip it to the last slide? Ditch the monologue. Now, many salespeople, while moving from a discovery process. So what do you mean by discovery process is when you're analyzing what exactly is the problem, when you're listening to your client. From that process, they goes into the presentation process. And rather than switching from an engaging dialogue, they go into informating. So they have collected all the information. Now they're giving them the sales presentation. They're giving them the solution. But rather than engaging with the client, they give them information. There is a load of information that they keep on giving them. Rather, instead, keep the conversation to the end sentence, which means ask them little question. Giving them a solution, ask them a little question like, does that make sense? You want to go for this? Does that make sense to you? Would this work for you? These mini questions will give them a feedback, and that feedback will help you throughout the meeting. So your prospect, it means that they're giving you feedback, you are able to analyze that, and you're giving them solution, and the solution is to the point. Both of you will be headed to the right direction, and you will definitely close the sales. Now, these were the 5 points that I wanted to discuss. Now I open the platform for everyone to ask me questions, or if they have any experiences, they can share with me, or any questions that they have. So I would love to answer it for them. Anyone who has a question can raise their hands and ask me.
Mohammed Riaz has raised his hand.
Please. Can you please unmute the... Girish, can you please unmute?
Mohammed Riaz.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please ask me a question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amit. It was a very wonderful session. I loved the thing and how the way you narrated. Just one thing, I was working as a territory sales manager dealing with a medical device product.
Okay.
So I just want to have a small experience as well as some inputs from your side. I just
Okay.
have 2 years of experience into sales. I'm handling a device product worth of 70 lakh.
Okay.
So it's mostly like an implant support for all the heart failure patients. So I just want to share one experience, like when I will be discussing with my customer for initial, most of my will be a doctor's check.
Okay.
So when I had a discussion with them, my competitors also will be there. So I will be starting with what all the solutions I can give the thing and what
Right.
main key points that will be make a difference from my competitor. These are the 2 things will be there. And in terms of the pricing, my competitor pricing will be less. Like I think there is a difference of between 20 to 30 lakhs in the cost price. So
Okay.
when the comparison will be thing, my product adds more value in terms of maybe patient support, all this thing. But the thing
Okay.
will be at the end of the Indian mind scenario, I can say like that cost will be the first major issue they will be concerned more about it.
Okay. Can I call you Riaz? Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. So Riaz, basically, I'm not from the industry that you mentioned. It's completely different, but I will try to correlate with the example. So I'm sure. Okay, which mobile phone you're using? The brand. I don't know. Need the model number.
OnePlus.
OnePlus. Okay, so it is a premium brand. Let's take an example of an Apple, and let's take an example of Samsung or any other Chinese brand. You can by self answer this question for yourself. Why a person goes for a Apple phone? Probably the reason would be the premium thing, the services that they're providing, and it's exclusive. Rather, they can have more benefit. I'll say 1/3 of the price in an Android phone, but they still go for that service. In India, price is a major factor, but it actually depends on product to product. So let's say if I'm using a specific phone and I'm satisfied with the services, I will definitely go ahead and get that product also and pay a little premium once again to get that product. That is completely depend on your. So that is less to do with the sales thing. I will say that is more to do with your after service, the premiumness that you're giving them in that specific industry, the results that's coming in while using your device. That one. Can I have your second question once again, please? What you mentioned?
No, I just want to have this question only, Amit. I think that, as you said, that is what the thing. So most of my customers, as we said, we need to, what I can say, enhance about our premium quality. What is this? That's how I'm just doing as of now. But I just want to know what is your opinion about it. Any other inputs from your side? As you clearly mentioned, yeah, that is the one thing I need to mainly focus on about the quality as well as the service, what I can provide from my side. So that is one thing. Yeah.
Okay, the inputs. So the inputs are the same five points that I shared. You can use it in your example. So if you keep it simple, give them the problem. So let's say if a person is, you give it to the doctors or you directly give it to the clients. I just need to have a. Is it a B2B product or B2C product?
It will be B2B.
A B2B product. So you have a knowledge, you directly going to the doctors. First point, if I have to take all the points in the example, so first point, keep it short and simple. So your doctor will give you a problem. This is a specific problem. You're giving them a solution. Second, if you don't have to go ahead and narrate the complete thing, you have to be very much specific what he's asking for, analyze his problem, give him that specific solution. Let's say if you give him one problem, he tells you, I have this, the clients are coming in with a heart problem, God forbid, it should not happen to anyone. They're coming with this problem, you give them a solution of XYZ or something else, it will not entertain. So all the points that I've shared in the PPT are somewhat relevant to it. And if you apply these little thing with everything, analyzing the situation, the meeting that you're in, it will definitely help you.
Yep. Thank you so much, Amit, for the inputs.
You're welcome, Riyaz. Second, who wants to, anybody has a question?
Yeah.
Can we unmute? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, please.
Amit,
Keshav.
two things I wanted to ask. Like you told about this storytelling.
Okay.
So when we do sales, we face several steps to complete a sales. So at which step we should start this storytelling? If we do this in the starting, it will not good. So on which step, like if we are losing sales, then in that case we have to tell, or which case?
So there is no certain step for this. We are in a business. Shubham, you and me are in a business of basically we sell experiences. Traveling industry is all about selling experiences, and you know the competition and you know the condition of the industry right now. So storytelling, what I feel going forward will be, okay, so I've attended few seminars recently on the travel industry, how the industry will go and what will happen. Believe me, all the big players, you name it, all the domestic inbound players, everybody, they're telling about one thing will sell now. Forget the destination, they're selling a unique experience will sell. So now the unique experience is something, it's something how you convert the complete package, because the Make My Trip is also selling the same thing. And on the second hand, let's say example of your company or Lush Trip, they're selling the same thing. Now what exactly happened is it's onto you. It's your skill, how you completely narrate the thing, how you convert that into story. So let's say somebody wants to go to Mumbai. So anyone can book a ticket and go to Mumbai, but the experiences that we're adding in the package, how we giving them inputs, you can go there. This is the okay, so you might face a problem from getting out of the airport. You might not find this over there, but you can tell them, okay, you getting out of the airport, you can take this specific bus, or I'm giving you a number of a concerned person. So you have to complete your complete selling experience has to be a storytelling experience. Your question was where, in which step it comes into. I will say it's the overall process. So once you listen to the requirement, it's your experience in terms of writing a mail, telling them over a phone, your face to face. It has to be a storytelling experience, a unique experience, which will be a key factor selling ahead in our industry.
Second thing, like in our industry, there are multiple players who are doing the sales. Same packages we are selling, same packages MFG is selling. So suppose some other supplier is using some bad supplier. I am using a luxury supplier, like high-end supplier. So in that case, like if I'm sending a quotation to a guest, the package is same price variant. There is a price variant because I am using the good supplier, and my competitor is using the bad supplier. There will be definitely a rate cap. Okay, so how to convince that client that my rate and my services are the best? Because we cannot disclose the supplier, and the client will also not understand to whom I am using or.
So Shubham, we are specifically getting into industry-based question. So I can take this one-on-one with you. That's a lengthy answer, but I can take this one-on-one with you a little later. Keshav, I guess you raised your hand if you have any question. No. Anybody else who wants to ask a question? Anyone? Yeah,
Dinesh, you can ask your.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dinesh.
I want to ask you, last slide, it's your monologue.
Right.
Can you explain again?
So basically, it's very simple. So when you get into a sales process, you're pitching a product to your prospect, okay? You discover what exactly is the problem that he's facing, okay? You analyze his problem. Now you get into a solution mode. Normally what happens is, rather than getting into a solution, normally salesmen get into an informative mode. So you will start giving them information. This is our product. This is what we do. What I was trying to say is keep that an close-ended question. Give them a small bit of information and then ask them a question. Does that work for you? Is that your requirement? Is that you're looking for? That process doesn't end there. So discovery, what I meant to mean by discovery mode is to get that information, but still counter question them. Is first thing is, are you satisfied with this? Is that exactly that you're looking for? Drill them more and more. So the more information that you will get, you would be able to narrow it down to 0, and that will be a sales success for you.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
Main thing is the first slide you told me KISS technology. This is as per you want to say that KISS, keep it simple and short.
Yes.
Sometime I went to client, in front of client. I should ask only keep it simple and short questions. I think you are saying like this.
Okay. By KISS, I mean is give your solution short and simple.
Okay.
So your solution should not be okay. So all these points are interrelated to each other. So if you see the meaning which I gave it to you were very much related to each other. By KISS was the solution. I narrated an example. I went in to meet a person, dealer of Cyber City. After basic introduction, I narrated the complete thing. This is what we do, and all the information which was not required.
Okay.
Rather than giving them all that information, I should have cut it down, get the information, and keep it simple. With him, okay, he asked me a question, I gave him a simple solution to it. Then he asked me another question, and I gave him a simple solution to it. Rather than my monologue, it has to be very much short. The major questions in sales, we say it, if you don't have to be a better speaker. Rather, it's a different thing. You have to be a good listener. If you're a good listener, then you would be able to crack more sales.
Okay.
I hope that
thank you.
Answer your question.
Thank you.
Ashish.
Yeah, thank you, Amit. Thank you for sharing all of your wonderful personal experiences. So what I've learned from your presentation is you learn things in sales by personal experiences, by making mistakes and then learning from them.
Right.
Now, since I am not from this industry, when I try to get better in this, then the next solution that comes to my mind is reading books. There are so many books by Dale Carnegie, How to Influence and Make Friends, and so many things. So those are all other people's experiences. So has reading books given you any solution towards your becoming better in sales journey, or because there's so many books out there of personal development and all those things? Does book help that much?
Let's give you a simple solution. So if you want to play cricket, you can't read in a book how to hit a six. It's better you go on the ground and try and hit a six. It doesn't matter if you get bowled once, twice, thrice. It's the same thing in Toastmasters. My way of doing is read. Yeah, books are the excellent way of doing something, but my way of doing it is go in the middle, face the ball, face the heat, and learn it by yourself. But I will not say books you should not read. Books will help you a lot of things, because there are a lot of things which I have read in online blogs and applied it. So what happened is you get an idea. So if you're going in directly to sell something to someone, in cricket they say you get a bouncer, it might hurt you, but you can take a reference of a book in as an helmet. Even if a bouncer comes, you are protected with it. So yeah, read books, read blogs. I will say follow someone who's a great sales leader. I see a lot of sales person over here. Sandeep is heading a unit in a AC manufacturing company. Jaswant, he's a general manager with a big company. So these guys have many experience. I'm sure you have a lot of friends who can help you, guide you. Moreover, if the company that you're working with, must be salespeople, you can talk to them, you can go out on meeting with them, just for sake. That is the best way of learning. That's what I prefer. There are other ways also, but that's completely a person's choice. Who's next? We still have 5 minutes. So if nobody has a question,
Yadvinder wants to add something.
Yes, please.
So, hi Ashish.
Amit,
sorry. Amit. So Amit, I think there are few sales guys over here. So I have a question on their behalf.
Okay.
So many times we see that when you go for a sales meeting or a product meeting, you see the client is adamant on one or two points. So there are few features or few things which he require, which are not there in your product. Fine.
Right.
And he gets adamant and he try to corner you on that point. But then you have small tactics to that you should move out of that point, otherwise that meeting will go into dead end. So what can be those tactics? And I think it will be beneficial for all of them who are trying to get into this field to learn these tactics from your experience.
Okay, I'm not very experienced to answer this, but there's a saying, Sachin doesn't make a century in every match. So there are certain matches he get bowled on a duck also. So if some prospect is adamant on certain points, it's okay to lose a sale. Even if you know a conversion rate in online sales is approximately on every 100 leads, you get converted, let's say 10 leads, which is a 10% of a ratio, which is a very good ratio. Otherwise, the ratio is way less in our industry, in travel industry. It's for 3, 4, 5% at the max. So it's completely okay if you're not able to crack that sales or with that prospect, it's not going fine, or you don't have that solution. You don't have solution to his problem. It's completely okay. What all you can do is you can refer. So let's say you don't, the product that you have doesn't give solution to that person. What you can do is you can refer that person to another person, maybe a friend who is offering that solution. So what will happen is, first is a goodwill gesture. So that person will be with you, and he will remind you that you helped him. Second, he is a prospect for you for your future sales. You can always go back to him again. So it is completely okay. If the sale doesn't crack in one meeting, you can always go back with another meeting. Let's say, for example, you change a company or you have another startup, which is related in that same line of work. So your goodwill will help you in cracking the sale the next time. I hope that answers your question.
That answers my question. And along with this, there was a question from Riaz. I think he's into high volume sale. I'm into same industry, same sort of industry. So if you want, I can add one point to his
Please,
question.
please. It's your time
So,
to now. Actually, I'm sorry. Now it's time for everyone to share their experiences for next 5 minutes. So yes, depends on the timer allows me. So yes.
So Riyaz, you had a question that you are into a product sale which is around 80 lakh rupees product, and then you have a competitor who's selling almost a similar product for 60 lakh rupees. And when you go to a client, your competitor is always there. Fine, and you face the problem to how to. Now you have a question that how should I sell my product? So I'll give you one strategy. See, try to understand that your competitor will be always there. Whatever industry you are there, your competitor would be always there. But whenever you are into high volume industry, high volume product industry, or when I say high volume means where the sale value is very, very high, the competition is always less compared to this travel and other industries. So first thing what you can do is first try to create a relationship with the client. High volume sale always happens on relationship. Take my word, 50% to 60% decisions, they happen on your relationship with the client. Rest 50% is your product value, your product features. Second is whenever you pitch a product to a customer, try to pitch at the soft corners of the client. If you are into healthcare industry, you know that mortality rate is one of the most important factor. So somehow you have to tell your client, boss, my product gives you a very less mortality rate, which is better than the other competitors. That is a major point. You can tell them that you can give them some case studies that this client or this specific hospital was using our competitor's product and this product failed, and the kind of problems they faced with the failure, the kind of bad marketing that had happened. So sometimes you have to pitch in on the negative aspects of your competitor without using their name. Take my word, never use your competitor's name. Because whenever you use the negative features of your competitors, then only you'll be able to make a high volume sale. Rest, I think it's a long answer. We'll discuss later.
Amit, you're on mute.
Over to Amit.
So actually that sum up the complete time that we have. So I have to close this.
I am
Yes.
Okay, you want?
Yeah, if you allow me, I would like to just summarize my content in only 5
Very
points.
quick in one or two sentences.
First is there's a difference between know the requirement and understand the requirement. Good salespeople always focus on understand the requirement rather than know the requirement of the customer. Second, good salespeople always have a knowledge of market understanding, the market which they are operating, who are the players, and how is my position. Third thing is know your customer. Just before going the meeting, you should have the knowledge, maybe onto the website or maybe from the relationship, that who is the what type of a customer it is. Fourth point is whenever you are going to meet to the customer, you should understand whether which role he is playing. He's just a coordinator, he's just influencer, he's a decision maker. You have to proceed accordingly. Last and but last one is which the very less salespeople know, knowing the competition.
Right.
Good salespeople knows very well what the competition offering is that and what are the things they are operating on. Over to you, Amit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sandeep, to summarize the complete thing. Sorry. So actually, I tried to, sales is a very big subject. I tried to take a very small pie of it. That was a very tiny pie, which I was trying to narrate. It will take a lot many sessions and experienced people, everyone involved. It will help to enhance each other in this specific line of work. So I would like to end this with a statement somebody told me. So this was from my initial years when I was working with the call center industry. There was a chai wala down there where we used to go in the night to have a omelette and a chai, pretty much late in the night. And we used to go there every day. So this guy told me one statement that sticks with me throughout my experience. He said, "Sir, पहले व्यवहार बनाओ फिर व्यापार करो. Make your relation first and do the business." This is if you ask me if there is a master key, this is a master key. If your relations are perfect, your business will go. Now, thank you so much. And I would like to hand over the stage, the virtual stage, to Toastmasters Sakshi. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Amit, for such a wonderful session. And I thank the audience as well to be so engaging and to having asked all of these questions. So thank you so much. Now is the time for us to take feedback for this session. Since this was the first time we have conducted this sort of a session, we would like to have your views, your thoughts about the session. So anybody who wants to say anything about the session may just raise their hand and we'll unmute them. Puneet, can we please unmute Puneet?
Yep, my feedback would be only positive because I'm not from the subject of this, but I really learned it quite well now. I did make some notes in between, but I think it was very much informative, and I did feel that it was explained to me like I'm a 5-year-old kid, so that I get it as simple and as clear as it should be. Thank you, Amit. I have written even the quote that you quoted from the Chaiwala. Thank you for that.
Hi Amit, it was a great session. Even you have covered all the points. The only recommendation which I have, if you can add on one slide, what customer is generally looking for. So that gives you an idea to all the people, yes, what the customer is looking for generally in your terms or maybe from your experience.
Jaswant, you can give your feedback.
Yeah, thank you. Amit, I think it was an excellent presentation. Given the time you had, you could cover all the basic principles in just 45 minutes. And as you already said that in this limited time, sales cannot be taught. But I think if we want to gain something out of these sort of sessions, then in my view, either we should repeat them with the same subject, or we should increase the time. Otherwise, because it is so little time to transfer these skills to the other people that not even everyone can ask question. So I think it is a very good initiative. But if you want to make it impactful, then probably we should think if the frequency or the time can be increased.
Sure. So we'll have such sessions every Saturday. So we can keep on increasing the width of a particular subject like that. Anybody else who wants to share their feedback? Okay, Yadvinder.
Amit, I like the session very much, although I joined quite late, but it was a wonderful session. I would request if you can give more details about the industry, travel industry, because I would like to know more about travel industry. Not on the feedback, but maybe and you can have another session on the industry aspects also. This is my feedback. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, so I guess nobody. So we'll like to close the session here, and would encourage you all to keep participating every Saturday. And if anybody is interested to be the presenter, they can ping any of the Skillex members team. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's connect next Saturday.